There's a strange pattern most of us don't question. The smaller the decision, the longer we spend on it. Which software tool to try, whether to send that email now or later, what time to schedule a meeting. None of these are life altering, and yet they absorb disproportionate cognitive bandwidth. The explanation we usually give ourselves sound respectable. I am being thoughtful. More thinking improves the outcome. I just want to make the right call. That belief is rarely examined. It sounds mature, responsible, rational, but it collapses under inspection. Because not all decisions deserve equal thinking. There is a difference between irreversible decision and reversible ones. The irreversible decisions alters the trajectory in a way that cannot be easily undone. The reversible decision is more likely a doorway you can walk back through. Most of what we overthink falls into the second category. You can switch the tool, you can reschedule the meeting, you can revise the email, and yet we treat these as if they belong to the first category. That mismatch is where time leaks. Here is the first cognitive move. We assume that more cognition produces better results regardless of decision type. But reversible decisions don't reward prolonged analysis, they reward movement. The cost of being wrong is small, the cost of delay compounds. When a decision is reversible, thinking is not the scarce resource, feedback is. And feedback requires action. So, why do we stall? Fear bias. Not fear of catastrophe, that would at least be proportional. Fear of discomfort. Choosing means choosing alternatives. Closing alternative means losing imagined optionality, even if the option is trivial. There is a subtle psychological cost of committing. Once you pick, you are temporarily exposed. And if it turns out suboptimal, you must adjust. Adjustment feels like admission. So we extend the thinking phase to postpone the exposure. We call it thoroughness, it's avoidance. Second cognitive move is we overthink easy decisions not because they are complex, but because they are safe arenas for control. High stake, irreversible decisions are frightening in an obvious way. We recognize their gravity, we prepare differently. But small reversible decisions create a false sense of consequences. They allow us to simulate control without taking meaningful risk. We can analyze endlessly without moving. There is something psychologically comforting about being in the thinking phase. You haven't committed, you haven't been wrong, you haven't been seen. And this is where the belief quietly flips. We say more thinking improve decision, but in reversible context, more thinking often improves nothing. It simply delays learning. And here is the uncomfortable admission. The delay sometimes feel productive because cognitive effort creates the sensation of seriousness. If I have thought about this for 40 minutes, it must matter. But duration is not a proxy of importance. For reversible decision, speed is not recklessness, it's calibration. You decide, you observe, you adjust. That loop refines judgment faster than extended pre decision analysis ever could. Yet, there is tension here. If we accelerate every reversible decision, do we risk becoming careless? Possibly, yes. The distinction between reversible and irreversible is not always obvious at the outset. Some decisions look reversible until they accumulate downstream effect. So, this is not an argument for impulsivity, it is an argument for proportionality. When you notice yourself stalled on something that can be undone with a modest cost, ask a different question. Not, have I thought about this enough? But what I am afraid of losing if I just choose? Often the answer is not accuracy, it is comfort. And if that's true, then what you are doing is not thinking, you are stalling. I have a clear sense of the problem now, even if it is not resolved yet. And this is part of learning how to make a deliberate decision.